Call the Memorial Day Parade Committee to order at 6:32. So first thing is funding. There's really been no changes from last year. I updated everyone that we went up to $7,000 for the upcoming year. We do have a couple of updates for our parade planning. So I spoke with Sarah. She wasn't going to be able to make it tonight, but she did contact the National Guard, and she was able to put a request for guest speakers, obstacle course, 2 vehicles, and a color guard. And then she did end up talking to the people that do the obstacle course in the recruitment tent, and should probably pretty much guaranteed. So hopefully we'll get them back again this year.
You said recruit, obstacle course, and recruiting tent?
Yeah, they're one and the same. It's the same group that comes out.
Okay.
They do both. Yep.
Good.
On a side note, not necessarily pertaining to us, but she has all the flags in. So for the truth.
Excellent, yeah, that sounds good.
Yep. So those are.
No, we'll stop
those are
something
the
to
office.
check.
They confirmed that the Noah Robinson and the reactors will be there again, the vehicles. Star Spangled Singers will be performing again. The golf carts that came last year, they're gonna come back, so if we need extras for veterans, that would be great. And then the Daisy Troop is also been confirmed. That's the update we have so far.
Anything from the scouts?
Scouts are in, yes.
Scouts will be there,
Yeah.
just kind of, you have to check with the,
I talked to you about the pack 49, they're in on board, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
Obviously, 249's on board. The Girl Scouts haven't heard anything back, but they're a tough bunch to get.
They've always been kind of tough, but
Yeah.
it just seems like it's getting harder now.
They've been moving further the other way.
So what'll be coming up, in the month of April, supplies will be purchased for the wreaths, and the wreaths will be made. We still have a person that will be making the wreaths for us. They'll be sending out all the information, getting our veterans' names, sending out mailings to see who would like to participate in the parade. Do a press release. The troops will do the graves. They spoke with Lenny Warner. I don't know if Troop 4480 will be participating, but I need at least has people together from St. Joe's, so that will be that.
So 4480 does St. Joe's?
They used to, but
Oh.
they kind of merged into more of a Western Plymouth County group. That
Yeah,
kind of
then we'll put
went
in,
in and further
yeah,
over,
yeah.
so I don't know if they really do much more with Kingston, yes.
Okay. Well, last year, I was out there with some vets
Yes, I know that. was,
and Priscilla.
Yeah,
And her husband.
yeah, last year, I don't know why, Lenny wasn't involved, but I know he spoke with Sarah today. So he's gonna do the St. Joe's.
Okay,
I don't know if he will need any help or not, but we're going to do that.
well, we can give some, I think, some veteran support.
So that will be what's coming up in April.
Yeah, if you reach out to, I'm more than happy to go up and help you, St. Joe Cemetery as well. And make sure they're all covered.
So the funding were pretty good for the parade as of right now. I know we're probably gonna need some more donations for the cookout, so we'll have to work on that and
Okay.
find out where we can get funding or if we can get product donated. Also, I'll be in the next few weeks, I'm gonna be checking to see who's actually gonna be in charge of doing that. We have a couple of people, involved in the past few years, but we're gonna try to get a point person to make sure, like, last year, propane slipped through the tank, through the cracks, but we ended up getting propane, so we wanna make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. So, anybody have anything else on funding?
Hmm.
All right,
How do you normally do that? You just send out letters or something to business
no, we
places
just,
or?
people would just go and ask and stuff. I know, I still have to get, with $200 coming from the Kingston Firefighters Association, I have to get that. We sometimes ask the police association for a donation and some other places,
Okay.
we're going as well. I think one of the neighborhoods in town has a neighborhood foundation, they usually give some money towards it. So, nothing that we can actually rely on, but these are some of the ones in the past that we've got.
You said neighborhood association, would that be Arbor Hills?
Yes, it was, yes.
Very good.
So
They also contribute, nicely to the Veterans Fund.
they do, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so next is discuss anything about this year's parade. Do we have any other discussions or just kind of wait until we get closer?
I don't really have anything, you covered, you've got a lot of details already in the wind.
Well, again, that's all from Priscilla, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take credit for that. She's had that all lined up. The one thing I do wanna think of, is we did send out the request to the National Guard, but sometimes they don't come up with a guest speaker, so I would like to see if we can think of one by at least our next meeting, and then if we don't have a National Guard, we can try to offer it to whoever we think of and try to get a person lined up. We will also need a chaplain too. Or, not necessarily a chaplain, but, some sort of minister or something for
Okay,
this. Yeah.
does the fire department have a chaplain?
We, we're in the middle of getting a new one. I don't know if they're on board yet, so I can find out and if the person would be interested or not.
Yeah.
They're like, what we've used in the past when we've actually had an active chaplain. So, I just wanna have a backup in case this person's not online yet.
National Guard probably got one too.
Okay. I
In
don't know how
uniform.
busy they do that. day,
In
but
uniform.
We, yeah, we could always do that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's also always, I think that most veterans groups like POW, or American Legion, they usually have a chaplain.
It was, you're supposed to have one on the roster. I know
Yeah.
we don't have one on ours.
Okay, okay. I happen to belong to post 40 in Plymouth.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could ask.
I know.
But He's probably gonna be,
They do a small Memorial Day parade. I don't know, I can't remember if it's in conjunction with ours or not at the same time, or if there's might be that.
I'm sure their chaplain is going to be busy already with their own.
Yeah. I mean, we still have all the churches and if we need to, so it's not like this, we're not lost yet, but just something to think about if we don't have them.
Sure. I think that's a great idea. To offer that as an opportunity.
Yes.
For them. Okay, probably more often than not, a day off. For the ministers
I know.
and the police. Who knows? But that is a good one, but we need to do that. Especially because Memorial Day.
Yes. There's no one up, actually, then, nobody else had anything else for the parade.
The only thing I can think of is just with the new memorial up there, just how we're gonna stage people out there.
Okay.
Just something to think about, because this train's a little different now.
Yep, The staging isn't much of an issue because when we put people in the past, there's no one there, but we had our crowd. With more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
that's what we have to consider, yes. And also, we have,
I don't want to see anybody trying to sit and stand.
no, that has to definitely be, even if we have a couple people. Maybe not on the committee, but help us out there and keep people off of that. That's a good idea. There is power down at the memorial, correct? Is there a plug down there?
Yeah, there is.
Have we heard any more about a sound system from the other committee?
No.
No.
And the reason, quite frankly, was because what we had last year worked really well.
Okay.
And the cost of the sound systems, we didn't have any experience with any of the vendors. So we just kind of dropped the topic. And now with the Kingston Veteran Memorial War Group is doing is deciding where we're going to put signs up to direct people to the Veterans Memorial. And we're working on that now.
Okay.
And we're working with the street department. He has a vendor who's supplying a beautiful one, which is the silhouette. And the signs are going to be 16 or 18 by 24. And they are iridescent, if you will, for a nightlight or any headlights.
Yeah.
They're gonna, yeah, you're gonna blow them away. It's gonna be beautiful. But we're gonna try to do it. We're working on both ends, Evergreen.
Yep.
And then one on Route 53, and then one south at the intersection where you have your firefighters monument there.
Okay.
One heading, directing people to go north.
Yep.
Would only go out too far because
Yes.
it's ridiculous. So, yeah,
Okay.
it's in the works.
All right. Did it seem to work, but I was speaking most of the time, so I couldn't tell, did it seem to work better than when we were actually out in front
Yeah,
last
Oh,
year?
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
So like there, so the sound system may not be an issue now, we kind
I
of understand.
think it has to do with the fact that when the speakers were all the way up in front of the town hall, right in front of it,
Yeah,
it had to go out too far. And then
it was that, and we were speaking behind it, which was given back to you, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think,
Okay.
I think the speaker system that we have now, is functionally, very, very good.
okay,
Considering that we now plug in right there. Yeah. So,
And I think too, with pulling traffic on while we're doing it,
it definitely helps.
it helps
Yes.
a lot.
So as far as, we can talk about this a little bit more as we get closer to, but as far as staging, like we used to stage the police and fire like this, maybe if we do it like this, then we put the audience on either side of the memorial, I think maybe they'll have a little bit clearer view.
Yeah.
That might be an option.
I agree 100% that the holding traffic is critical. Because, to do otherwise for Memorial Day, for those who have sacrificed all is, sacrilegious. Okay, so,
And I know it's, some people have good intentions, but when they drive by and honk their horn and
Yeah.
we're all standing there, it's like.
you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand a lot of times save lives, but not too much.
So to answer your question, I think the sound system that we have is
Is
perfect.
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure we address where we're gonna set everybody up. Right, so that's pretty much on the parade. Okay. Yeah, we need to find a point person, but anything we need to change or add with the cookout. That we discussed last time, that as long as we have it marked ahead of time, the veterans only line, that worked great.
That worked excellent.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna answer that, having done 22 years of active duty, I stood more lines than I care to admit. But when you get to be my age and older, it is really nice and gratifying when you don't have to stand in a long line. And I think that's the feedback that I got from everybody that afterwards, that they really appreciated that,
Okay.
so. Good idea.
Definitely continue that then. I really don't have much else with the cookout. Especially till we get a point person, so let them kind of tell us what they need.
Good idea.
I don't have anything on the new business, anybody else?
No, was the trolley already settled?
Yes, so, that was, I didn't go over that because it was, last month, but, we put the down payment on it last year, because we had a little bit of funds left over. So that will, the balance will be due 14 days prior to, but that's already, down payment and confirmed.
And then the, Taunton City Band,
Same with that, the Taunton City Band, they were contacted on, the 4th of February. And then, the 10th of February, they were confirmed. So they're all set, the same thing, we paid them the day of, we'll give them a check.
okay. And I would assume that we always do taps.
Yes, so let's see where. They provide a person, and then there was somebody else.
I arranged last year.
Yes, so for the echo, so,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bugles Across America was the name of the company,
okay,
but, I personally paid for that myself as a donation.
okay,
There's no requirement for a donation whatsoever. I was just so pleased that she was willing to come and do that, and it was quite nice. And I could call her again. But she asked that if we could do it, to send a donation to Bugles Across America.
okay.
And I sent it to them, and the president of that group sent me back a nice thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. So let's see, I'll go through and see if there's anything else we need to.
There was something that I wanted to bring up, and that was, when we do the prayer at each site, I was wondering if we could get something, not a megaphone, but some way to
No, but-
amplify. the
I know what
prayer.
you're thinking, but even if it's a, black and better a portable karaoke machine, that just has just a microphone, but then there's a speaker. And we can aim it, I think that we can aim it towards the trolley, so eventually can hear it.
That's what we need,
Okay,
all right? Karaoke machine?
I black and better term, right, but that's
I
kind of
know
what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, yeah.
It's a-
Then that's what we need,
Yeah, so
karaoke
I
machine.
would hope that there's a battery operated one like this, or one that's
Got
got power, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, one of these, I'm checking one of the kids, one of the kids, Phil's probably asked one.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because having given the prayer a couple of times, only the people that are right next to you hear what you're saying. And it just seems to me that it needs to be said and loud enough that more people can hear it, and it makes it more important.
I think we did have this discussion a little bit last month as well, but I know that Priscilla has always given the option to the person they could say it. To themselves if they wanted to, but if anyone's willing to say it aloud, I like that idea.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know if
it
it
makes
will,
more sense.
I don't know if it will limit the amount of people we get to do it, if people don't want to be on a speaker, but I think we can still find something.
I figured this way, if you're brave enough to stand up and put your uniform on and go and, serve your country, you should be brave enough to just say a few words. That's me. I like the idea of the karaoke machine.
Maybe a couple songs from too.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I know some Marines that like to sing the Marine Corps hymn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoorah. Number 5. That's the only thing that I had.
Okay. Anybody else have anything in your business?
I don't.
I'll go pick a date first, right?
Yeah.
So March. Everybody, yeah, we're pretty good. Do we want to do like
You don't want a meeting in April.
mid-April? Yeah, and then go for 2 in May.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. How's the 17th? How's the 17th sound?
I might be out of town. That's for the vacation week.
It's school vacation should be the week after.
What is it?
I think it's the 20th something this. From what I was told.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is. You're right.
So yeah, I was trying not to pick that week. We could.
Perfect. Yeah,
17th,
that works.
Yeah.
6 or 6:30. But you said 6:30 is better for you, right?
6 works too. I'm,
Six
I'm,
does?
I'm close, yeah. I'm
Okay.
only working in Taunton now, so
All right.
so I'm
So
coming out of Boston.
I will confirm the room and then I will send it up to everyone to make sure we have it.
Okay. So you want to do a 6?
April 17th. 6.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to make a
No.
motion that we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.